Woods, Vermont Farmstead Cheese, talking to you guys today about our Tilsit. We've named it BrickHaus Tilsit, a pasteurized milk cheese. Tilsit is actually a member of the Havarti family, so it's a real soft, supple cheese. Typically fairly mild in flavor, although we've kicked ours up just a bit. I'm trying to add a little more flavor to that. Tilsit we make is a washed curd cheese. So one of the first steps is in the cutting of the curd. We use a bigger knife to ensure that there's more moisture in that cheese. That gives it its nice creamy texture. When it comes to draining off the whey, what we need to do is we actually need to draw the whey off from the top of the vat because the curds are uncooked and still quite fragile. So we very carefully have to push those uncooked curds to the back of the vat, put in our drain plate, and then actually top draw the whey off so that we don't disturb any of those still very fragile curd. After that point, we put in our tempered water. And that helps wash the lactose off because we don't have the starter culture devouring that lactose like some of our other cheeses, particularly the cheddars. So after we add the water to wash some of that lactose off, we actually dump some salt into that solution as well. What that's helping to do is it's helping to get some calcium back into that curd. We've actually come up with a fairly unique mold to be able to make a 5-pound loaf in the block molds, which is pretty unique. There's individual molds that are out there, but we've kind of incorporated our 40-pound cheddar block molds into a device that we can make the Tilsit loaves in. After it's been cooked, we draw off a bunch of the whey, probably about another 50%, so we're left with a pretty strong curd to whey ratio mix, and then we start hand ladling that out into our molds. It takes quite a little period of time because we have to fill each layer, let some whey drain off, and then refill with the curd again, so it's pretty labor intensive, but we think it's worth it. So in the block molds, because this is a fairly soft cheese, we actually don't press this under pressure like we do the cheddars or some of the other cheeses. It's actually just naturally pressed under the weight of itself. So we flip those block molds several times, once about every hour for 5 or 6 hours, to just continue to form those into nice smooth exterior loaves. And first thing in the morning we'll come out, we'll pull them out of there and dunk them in the brine. We like to put a little top coat of salt on there because they're buoyant, they want to float in that brine, so we want to make sure that they're all covered with salt. So we'll actually come in and spread some salt over the top or the exposed parts of those cheeses. We pull it out, dry them off, and then we'll vac seal them and get ready to send them out in about 5 to 6 weeks. Really, the Tilsit has been one that's been received quite well out there. I think it's probably because of its versatility. Again, it is a pretty mild cheese, but it's got some pretty dynamic flavors in there. There's a lot of milkiness in there, you know, again, using the high quality milk on the other side. Really feel that comes through in this cheese a lot. BrickHaus Tilsit, probably one of my early favorites out of the new cheeses we've developed here at Vermont.